What's happening, everybody? I am Michael from the Kids Library, and today we are going to go over how to make some stop motion animations. Now, if you got no idea what stop motion animation is, that is A-OK. It's not too hard to learn, but it does require a little bit of patience. And even if you haven't heard of it, you might have seen it. So if you've ever seen the movie Coraline, all of that was done in stop motion. Star Wars Empire Strikes
It takes
Back.
Dennis Muren and Phil Tippett an hour just to make 1 second of stop-motion film. The adjustments between frames of all the tiny moving parts are minuscule, but projected at the proper speed, 24 frames per second. These individual movements will flow seamlessly together.
This is what they had to do before computer-generated animation and all of that. And another popular thing people make in stop motion is Lego, especially like Lego Star Wars. And funnily enough, the Lego movie itself was computer generated, but they wanted to make it look like it was stop motion, so it'd look like all these other movies. So what is stop motion animation? It's kind of like taking a video, but a lot slower. You take photos instead, and then you move all your characters and stuff a tiny bit at a time between those photos. And so the film's made up of many, many individual photos, which are then just all added together into one video. And so it's basically like a really fast slideshow almost. And filming can take quite a while with stop motion animation. A single second of video could be 15 or more pictures. And so you're probably wondering, why would I want to do it like this? And the really cool thing about stop motion animation is that the characters and stuff are animated. You can make it look like the characters and setting are moving entirely on their own. So here are some examples of full clips, and these were made by kids for our Dogman program earlier this year. And so they're a little short, but they're pretty cool. Okay, so let's get some characters going. So I've got these two guys here that are from our Dogman stop motion program earlier, but you can make some, maybe not as fancy as this, but you can make cool ones at home too. So if we want to make some characters from scratch, if you got a printer at home and you got some paper, I printed out some Dogman characters. You can find them online if you just search them on Google. And then so we've got our piece of paper, we've got some scissors, we've got some tape, and if you can find a toothpick too, that'd be great. And so we can make ones like this doing that. And so I'm just going to cut one of these guys out. So when you cut it out, what you're going to want to do is I leave a bit of white space at the bottom. I'll show you why in a second. Okay. So I got my guy cut out, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that little bottom space I left, I am going to fold it, make sort of like a little flap there. And then what we're going to do with that is we are going to take our tape, we're going to take a pretty big piece, and we're going to put it on that flap there, and we're just going to kind of wrap it around the front and back of that flap. So and sometimes I do that once or twice more. And it doesn't have to look perfect, But so we got that now, and so if we want to make it stand up, what we're going to do is we're going to take the tape. And so we got that, and I'm going to kind of place it on the back of him, and then on that flap too. And that's going to make him stand up a little easier. Okay, and then we're going to take our toothpick and we are going to tape it to the back of Dogman. We're going to try and have it be we are going to try and have it be going from the bottom there. There we go. And then maybe put another piece of tape there. And so now we've got our Dogman. Now we just need a background. And so what I did is I cleared out this big area over here. And what I've got on the wall behind it is just a blank sheet that I'm going to put stuff on top of later. And you could say use a poster board that you could draw stuff on, or if you have like a cool poster you want to use as a background for it, that would be awesome. And just so you know, if you're ever sticking stuff on a wall, you got to use painter's tape. I don't want your parents getting mad at me for stripping the paint off of the wall. Alright, so now we can start taking pictures and recording. The app we're going to use is called Stop Motion Studio. It's totally free. I think there's some things in the app that you can purchase, but they're not really important. You can get it on the App Store, or it's on the Google Play Store for Android. Alright, I'm just going to show you what the app is like really quick. When you load into Stop Motion Studio, first thing you're going to want to do is click New Movie. And then, this is just the camera I have hooked up right now, and so when you want to start making your stop motion stuff, you're just going to click this. It's going to take a picture, and then afterwards you move your stuff, and then you keep taking more pictures. And so now I'm going to do a demo. It's just one guy chasing another guy. Alright, just to show you the setup I got here, I got an iPad, and what's very important is that the camera, the iPad, stays still, or if you have a phone or anything like that. So I kind of just improvised a makeshift stand here. You can use a lot of stuff, like, you know, around the house. There's just a piece of Lego and a book. And yeah, so I'm going to show you how we're going to start doing it. So there we go. We've got our first photo, and now we're going to adjust slightly. Now we're going to take another photo. Now we're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to take another photo. There we go. There we go. Okay, now we are done with our little short chase, and we can hit this button here to go back all the way back to the beginning. And so if we want to preview our video that would be made from all these photos, we can hit the play button up here, and it's going to start running through all of them. And yeah, that is a little bit slow. I don't think I moved them enough between each photo, but there is a way to play around with that. We can change the speed. So there's this little settings button here, the gear, and this little line and all these lines here control how fast it's going to go for, you know, per picture. And so if we go all the way here it's the slowest it can be. It's one picture is 1 second. And so, but we want to go, I think, way more this way. And it's going to be pretty short, but it's going to look right. So now let's try it. Yeah, that looks much better. So the one we're trying now is going to be a lot different. It's going to be more complicated. So what we're going to do is we have decorations in the back. We've got these like rain clouds and all of that. And so we have a bunch of different characters, and they're all aboard this, you know, Lego boat. And this time it's like we're going to try and have sort of like a story. You know, this boat's like going around and it's fighting against like the waves and all of that, and eventually they sink and they take the lifeboats out. So this took a lot longer, and it was a lot more difficult in the prep and all of that, but it was definitely a lot more fun. Okay, let's see how this turned out. So we're going to go all the way back to the beginning. We're going to hit play and see how that appears. Okay, yeah, that's a little too fast. So let's go back to our settings, and then let's try and slow it down. See how it looks this way. Alright, let's go. Okay. Yeah, that definitely looks better. Let's try a little bit faster though. Yeah, that's pretty good at this speed. Okay. Okay, and so once you get the speed you want on your project, what you're going to want to do if you want to export it as a movie, you can tap and hold that, and then do this triangle thing here, and then export movie, and save as. And then it makes it into a movie for you. Okay. Alright everyone, thanks for watching the video. I hope everybody learned something, and I wish you all luck on making your own stop motion movies. See ya.